Pastor George Borkard, and this is another Higher Things video short. Christianity isn't a story to tell our children. That's the subject of today's Higher Things video short. We as parents tell our children stories. We tell our children myths or legends. We put them in Avengers clothing, or we tell them different stories connected to holidays. And you know what I'm saying. These are stories that we maybe have heard before, we passed on from our kids, but they're not real. When we teach the faith of Jesus to our kids, when we talk about the faith of Jesus, we're not talking about a story. Jesus isn't like Superman or like Batman. Christ actually is real. There was a Jesus who lived his life for us, who performed miracles, who was born of the Virgin Mary on Christmas, performed miracles, lived his life for us, preached, taught, raised the dead, suffered, was betrayed into the hands of sinners, was crucified and died. There was a Jesus who rose again on the third day. That isn't a story or a myth, and we need to teach our kids that this Christ who died for us and rose for us lives for us now. He doesn't deal with us by whether we're naughty or nice. He doesn't just leave candy to those who are good. He deals with us by what he did for us, his cross and resurrection, and faith in him and believing in him is the only way to life everlasting. So raise your kids and teach your kids the importance of Jesus. It's not just another story. They're going to get to college where their teachers and professors will speak about the faith of Jesus or the creation account as if it's just another myth, like Buddy the Elf. We must teach them that the reality of the resurrection of Christ. And in so teaching them and so emphasizing for them that Christ died and rose again, we too hear the gospel again. We too hear the message, which isn't a story that we love to tell. It's more than that. This is the reality of the universe, the thing which changes everything. The reason why we share, the reason why we don't hit others, the reason why we live a decent life, the reason why we go to church, the reason why we don't use foul language and don't take the Lord's name in vain, the reason why superstitions for us, like not stepping on chalk on a baseball field, are just games we play. They're not real. The realness is that Christ died and he rose again for us and he lives for us. And that's the reason why we do everything from being nice to people to, believing that we're going to see Grandpa in heaven. It's all about the resurrection of Christ, the death and resurrection of Christ. And that's what we teach our children. We teach them that as if their life depended on it, because our life and their life forever does. Think about these things. Teach your kids the faith. Teach them the reality of the death and resurrection of Christ, not as a story, but as this is our faith, and our life depends on it. I'm Pastor George Borkard, and this has been another Higher Things video short.